Well, the architecture firm that designed the Ontario Science Centre says shutting down the building is unnecessary. Moriyama Teshima Architects is offering to help with the repairs for free. We're joined live by Brian Broody, partner at Moriyama Teshima Architects. Thank you so much for joining us, Brian. Tell us a little bit about the repair work that needs to be done. We're hearing that only about 5% of these panels are defective. From your take, what needs to be done to keep this building open?
Yeah, the work can be done in phases. There's some urgent work that has already been done actually to shore up a couple of panels, like by a handful, literally 6 panels that are in kind of urgent shape. These are roof panels, so they're structural panels that hold up the roof of the various buildings in the facility. It's about 3%. A little less than 3% of the total roof that is actually more in need of replacement, but that can be done over the next couple months or a year even, and it can be done in phases such that they kind of close down areas of the building, small pockets of the building to do that work. It's not as urgent as certainly the shutting down of the facility would indicate.
So just to confirm, how long would those repairs take?
Anywhere from, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, I would assume. But again, it's no different than what standard repairs to a building would be in a long-term maintenance program for a building of this type. You can imagine, for example, the ROM shutting down several spaces within their building just to kind of do periodic maintenance. It's really no more urgent or severe than that. And in fact, it's less awkward because most of the repairs are not even above public exhibition spaces. The vast majority of the exhibition spaces
Brian,
do not have any panels.
I think a lot of people appreciate the gesture of your firm doing these repairs for free, but the reality is the Ontario Science Centre is slated to be closed at the end of October for good. The province is going to be moving forward with their new plans down at on the waterfront. So if it's going to take 3 to 6 months to repair it, what's the point of doing that if it's going to be slated to close in about 4 months' time?
Well, that's a good question to talk about, because is it really the right thing to move a science center that's so dear to people's hearts and has served its purpose for so long, and it is actually built to last considerably longer than it is now? There's a significant environmental cost to doing that, building a new building, which is you only spend a fraction of that environmental cost repairing an existing building. So we really need to start thinking about repairing buildings that are built to last, not replacing them when political moves become the operative.
We're seeing reports that there are hundreds of other buildings that have the same kind of material on the roof. Many of them are schools and other buildings. I'm curious, in your professional opinion, why do you think this the decision was made to shut this down if this building was still if it was still fixable, at least within a relative short amount of time?
I can only say that this was a political choice to make that kind of a public statement about the building, because, yeah, that's exactly a good question. Why are there hundreds of buildings that have the same structure and none of them are being closed for this urgency?
And lastly, just before I let you go, Brian, personally, I'm sure a lot of the staff members at your firm who love this building. It's a very important piece, not only a building but a piece of art in our city. How are you all feeling knowing that this beautiful building is going to be torn down at some point?
Well, it's about city building, right? Beautiful cities are built over time, over long periods of time, and they're built by building one piece at a time, so one really fabulous building at a time, and you don't knock those buildings down to replace them with other buildings. You eventually build your entire stock up.
And Brian, did you hear from the provincial government in regards to the offer to make these repairs for free? Any response there?
No, we haven't heard anything back, but we have got lots of interest from other engineering firms wanting to help.
Well, Brian Broody, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us on CP24.
Thank you for having me.